A great principle when I used to work in sales is the ABC principle. You learn that you have three types of clients. There's C clients who have never heard of your product, don't really have a need for it. There's B clients which are familiar with their product, maybe could be talked into it, but don't really have a strong need for your product. And then there's A clients. A clients they've heard of your product, they're familiar with it, they might have even used it in the past, and they have a need for it. Effective salespeople don't waste time with B's and C's. They spend time with finding A's. One of my friends told me that his friend did door-to-door sales, and he would knock on thousands of doors, and he would often get invited in. Not often, but when he would get invited in to the people's homes and sit down and give the presentation, the moment he saw that they were a C or B, he would, even though they invited him in, which likely meant they might be a B, he would get up and leave. And then go to the next house and find the A's. And yeah, you might lose a sale, here and there, but our time is much better invested in focusing upon the A's. And the same thing, this same principle can be applied to all areas of our life. When it comes to dating, there's A, B's, and C's. And women and men waste so much time with C and B relationships, trying to win someone over that has low interest level, or trying to change someone that's really there's not big compatibility there or strong compatibility, and instead of finding the A's. And what life really comes down to, it's all about statistics and mathematics. And the problem is you want to play the odds. And the odds aren't very good. The odds mean that you are going to get rejected a lot. The guy who knocks on door-to-door houses, he gets rejected, 95% of the time? Who knows? But in our lives, we don't like that rejection. So what we do is we spend time with C and B relationships, B and C jobs, B and C places to live, city, whatever, everything. I mean, everything it could be come down to that if it's an A, B, or C for you. And the B's and C's are more numerous. They're more available. We encounter them regularly. And it's easier and safer to just spend time trying to, with the B and C categories of our lives. What stops us from seeking out the A jobs, the A relationships, the A education, the A in everything? What stops us? Well, what stops us is our fear of rejection. So, and and also laziness and lack of self-discipline. But the key thing is to play the numbers game. So let's take dating, for example. I've had friends and I've heard people say, oh, I did online dating, or I went on blind dates, or and I just can't do it. It's not for me. And I'm like, oh, how many dates did you go on? Oh, about, 7, 8. Are you kidding? 7 or 8? And you're already given up? And one positive thing, if that you're a good person, you're out there dating, there has to be other people out there. But it's statistics, it's numbers. You have to go out and on, hundreds of dates. And the more you increase your rejection or go on dates that just you're not happy with, the higher the chance of you meeting that one person. And it's the same thing with job interviews. The more job interviews you go on, the more resumes you send out, the more you get rejected, the greater chance of you finding that dream job. And, for authors, actors, everything, it's just all about increasing your rejection rate, increasing your failure rate, making the statistics and numbers work for you, and not spending our life energy on B and C areas of our life. We just waste, we just kind of spill so much valuable time, effort in things that are not truly satisfying or rewarding for us. And also the 80-20 principle is fantastic. Always be asking yourself, is this the 20%, or the 80-20 principle works like this. 20% of your actions will bring you 80% value in your life. Business is also 20% of the customers bring 80% of revenue. So use 20% of your possessions 80% of the time. And then the converse is true. 80% of your possessions you only use 20% of the time. 80% of your customers only bring you 20% of your business. And I believe it's called the Pareto principle, fantastic, by an Italian economist. And once you start practicing this and you start separating the wheat from the chaff, and you start finding out what's really important, what friendships are really important, what actions, and you start asking yourself, is this really necessary? Is this productive? Is this in the 20% area of my life? Whatever it is, from things you buy, the way you spend your money, the way you spend your time, the jobs that you do, is this 20 or 80? And then you'll find yourself, whoa, this is the 80%. This is the bottom part, not bringing me high reward for input. And one of the really helpful tools for spiritual growth is asking questions, asking ourselves questions. And throughout the day, we just kind of go through life unconscious, go through actions and live our lives in a robotic mode. And instead, with asking questions, it can tap into your intuition, your deeper knowing, your inner compass, and you can have guidance and be far more productive with less effort, which is what everybody wants. But we don't do the things necessary to get there. And a simple technique is just asking questions. Is this phone call I'm going to make, is it really necessary? The words that I'm speaking in conversations, gossiping, work conversations, do I need to use these many words to communicate my idea, or will I be far more effective using less words? Possessions. Do I need all these possessions in my house, or will I enjoy the ones I have a lot more if I cut down the 80% that are not bringing me high value? The way I spend my money. And you start applying this and asking these questions, it starts rippling and transforming all areas of your life. And it's exciting, man. It is so exciting to see the shift of how we spend our life energy, how we spend our time. And then you start seeing the fruit and the value and the rewards of being conscious with each and every action, each and every word that comes out of our mouth, each and every food item that we put in our mouth, each and every dollar that we spend. And we are now harnessing that life energy to utilize and channel towards our dreams.